Hello everybody, welcome to Fruitful Trees. It is July 1st, 2025, and I'm going to do an update on my mangoes for you. And I have a video coming real soon about the Mango Festival, the 2025 Florida Mango Festival. Epic is the only way to describe this event. It was amazing on every level, and I got a video coming out real soon talking about that. But it is in the heart of mango season, and I want to give you an update on all the mangoes, what I'm learning, what's growing on. This is my joy, my joy. So there's a lot of other fruit growing right now, from sapodillas to star apple to white sapotes. So much. I got so many videos I have to make, but I've been so busy working on the Florida Mango Festival. I hadn't done this update last month, so I want to give you an update on the mangoes and how they're doing here. And let's go. We're going to turn this around and see what varieties are rocking in 2025, what varieties I'm recommending. It's going to be great. So here we go. So the first yard we're going to look at is actually next door to me. This is my neighbor's yard, who lets me plant trees in his yard and take care of his place. This isn't Ram's yard across the street. He's got crazy stuff going on there. So much cool stuff, growing a ton of mangoes. We'll do an update there soon as well. But this tree is taken off from a 1 gallon. This is an apricot mango. I definitely recommend this. And Tropical Acres Farms is the one that I got this from. And now Truly Tropical has this tree for sale as well. But that's from a 1 gallon, and it is really taken off. And then I put some other ones in the ground. No water needed for a lot of mangoes if you put mulch down. Put a few mangoes in the ground. But look at this, folks. This is Sunrise. Sunrise, it's July, and Sunrise is perfectly in season right now. Falling on the floor. This tree is, it's my favorite mango. I wish this tree was in my yard, and some of it is. But Sunrise that's why they call it Sunrise. Look how it looks. When you pick them like that, yellow off the tree, look on the floor. So, and that's when we had rain this morning and last night. But Sunrise is absolutely amazing. So I'll show you what else is growing on in this yard. This is a P22. It's looking nice. P22. Now this was a wild mango tree that was here when I started taking over the yard, and I grafted Pineapple Pleasure to a bunch of them. But I don't remember what I grafted to this one, or if that's just a wild one, but it's coming out this year. But I think it's something I grafted. It might be the seedling. Regardless, no, it's a graft. I grafted. So we'll see what comes out on that. All right. Got a mango in the ground there. Mango tree there. Star apple. Then we have this dwarf Hawaiian tree that was dying, and I put it here, and it's coming along. But look, folks, get a Sunrise mango tree. It's great. I didn't spray this tree or anything, and it's looking excellent. Look at that. So this tree was loaded, and now's the time to get him. Now let's go over to my yard. Right next door, there I am. And you see some of this tree is hanging right over the fence there. And if you look at my side, there's like branches full of this also. All right, so let's go head over to the front here and see what's going on mangoes wise. And again, I got a lot of other stuff, but just focusing on mangoes here in this mango season. Those of you that were at the Mango Festival, what new mangoes did you get to taste? I'd love to know. Let me turn this around here as I'm in the front, starting off in my neighbor's yard here. All right, this tree here is a Jahingar, and we didn't get to try them yet. There's 2 small mangoes there. They're just not ready yet. So I don't put a lot of mangoes in my front yard because I don't want to invite people to take them, and that's what they do in this neighborhood. But I do have this Pickering, which is just about done. But this Pickering was loaded with mangoes. They weren't bad this year. They weren't bad. There might be some more hanging in there. And then there's this tree here, which was a cogshaw that I top worked 2 years ago to an ice cream, or even last year. And I had 3 ice cream mangoes on this side. And then I just put another graft on for an ice cream. I'd like to get this whole tree to be an ice cream tree. And then as we come over here, this is a multi-graft tree. And this tree has Fairchild, Angie, and Kent. And you can see the different seasons of mangoes. So this is very interesting, folks. Well, first we had Angie. Angie was the first mango I had this year, and there's 1 or 2 more hanging on there July 1st. But other than that, Angie's pretty much done. Fairchild comes in next, and there's 1 or 2 Fairchilds hanging there. Fairchild was excellent this year. I did a couple of tastings, and people actually said that was the winner. And this is interesting. This is my Kent mango. This was what the mango tree originally was. So this is a Kent mango, a late season mango, often the latest. So this tree has different seasons. But the reason why I took my Kent out and this one I top worked is Kent tree gets bacterial black spot. Was splitting. It's just not a recommended tree here. Believe it or not, it was the old time tree that people loved. Yeah, it was the old time tree people loved, but I don't recommend Kent. Now, some of you are gonna not be happy about this little update. So this is my sweet tart tree. It's looking wonderful. It's just starting to come into season. This is my sugarloaf tree. It's small. Very impressed with the amount of mangoes on there this year. First year I had a really good crop on there, but I still got to figure out when they're going to ripen or the best time to pick them. Don't cry, folks. Look at this. Don't cry. Lemon zest. Yes, it tastes the best, but it's a super big tree. A lot of them were getting the black spot, so I decided to top work it. I might leave one branch as lemon zest, maybe, but I'm going to put some other mangoes on here as they grow in. But yeah, I cut down my lemon zest. Crazy. It wasn't worth fighting. And especially if you're not going to spray, you're going to get black spot if you're in near the coast. I know people that grow lemon zest that don't have any issue. If you're in Miami, I know people in Loxahatchee that don't have an issue. But here, near the coast, lemon zest tastes the best, but it doesn't grow the best. All right, let's move on. I'm going to put something exciting on there. So only one thing better maybe that will make you feel better is if I got rocking maybe 4026 on there, right? All right, overall best quality, consistent, disease-free, every year, CAC. I just pulled a bunch off. CAC loaded. And it's supposed to be a big tree, but it hasn't been doing too bad. CAC mango. Highly recommend it. Amongst the other trees here, we're looking at the mangoes. I don't have as many here as I do in Mangoland, but this tree here is a top work of a cherry. I did leave one cherry branch on there, but this is mostly emerald. And I got my first emerald fruit on it this year. And absolutely amazing. Highly recommend it. Emerald mango. And this one is either a Thai Moor, this little branch here, or an apricot. So we'll see how that grows. Nothing on there yet. It's emerald. Orange sherbet. Picked a bunch yesterday. It's growing real nice this year. I cut this tree back a lot last year. Orange sherbet. Look at that. Another excellent tree. So here we go now, my lemon meringue. I have 2 lemon meringue trees, first 3 trees in the yard. Still hanging on to good mangoes, a lot of mangoes. First One of the earliest mangoes of the year. There's one on the floor. Loving it. This tree finished sooner, and I started cutting it back. There's still a few hanging on. I made it thinner, spaced it out in the middle a little. I'll do that to this one once those mangoes are done. So I'm doing a lot of work, never stopping here. Here's a M4. M4, I haven't had ripe ones yet. I think I pulled a ripe one off yesterday, and I actually gave it away. I gave my first fruit of the year to a friend of mine. Now, look at this. This side, originally this was a Dunkin' tree. I don't like Dunkin' mangoes. But last year, I didn't cut the tree quick enough to know which branches were still Dunkin'. So this year, when it was hanging on there, I cut them. This side, sunrise. Beautiful mangoes, looking great. Sunrise. They're not ready because they look like a sunrise when they are. But look on the floor there. That's from the Dunkin' that I cut because half of this tree was still Dunkin'. And I want it to be all sunrise. Dunkin' is really disappointing. Now, I heard the later season ones taste better. But still, not worth having the tree in my opinion. Oh, sunrise is on there. One more mango to show you here before we go next door to Mangoland and see what's growing on there with this update. The sunrise on this side, the same sunrise that was on the other side. Matter of fact, there's the ones I threw over the fence that I'm going to gather up. But I could just pick these trees as needed. Let's go over to Mangoland and check it out there. All right, everybody, this is Mangoland. Always looking a little different. Trying to stay up on what we need to get done. And let's see what's going on and how things are looking here in Mangoland. Some great surprises this year in Mangoland. So first, this tree is called PSM or Pim Sun Moon. This is a Thai mango that stays green that you could pick when it's green. Tastes like an apple when it's green. A friend of mine just came from out of town, loved this one the most, but you can still eat it ripe. And the leaves were really bad on this tree, but the new growth is looking wonderful. But the tree next to it, now the leaves here aren't looking great. So we got to look into that. But this fruit is Prime Kai Mei. This has been one of my greatest surprises this year. I've tasted it before, and that's why I planted the tree, but I didn't remember how delicious it was. This is, again, a Thai mango that's supposed to be a late season, but here we are in July, and I've already had a handful of them in June. When you cut this open, it is a deep, deep orange color. And it tastes like Nam Duck Mai on steroids. This is a delicious variety. Prom Kai Mei. Highly recommend it. All right, here's my top work, my ice cream tree. And the leaves, I guess in this area, something's going on, but the same thing with the leaves. But the fruit has been amazing on this ice cream tree. Very pleased. And it's interesting because even though the leaves don't look great, the fruit's been clean. I have another ice cream tree in the back where the leaves look fine, but the fruit has anthracnose. So it's very interesting. Look, a spot's missing. That's where my rosy gold tree was. And I got rid of it, and I'm so glad I did. It's opened up space. So makes things much better here. This is Honey Kiss. Honey Kiss is loaded, and the fruit is just starting to get ripe. I see a ripe one over there. This is usually a late season, and this one's starting to get ripe too. This one's Juliet. I keep telling myself I'm not going to come over here without a pen, but I keep coming here without a pen, and I need to write things down. And the other big surprise this year for me has been this. This is Tess Pollock. And this, I didn't like the taste. I was almost going to put it down, but the taste was magnificent this year. The fruit grew wonderful. I recommend Tess Pollock. Highly recommend it. Good tree. It's going this way now. All right, look at this. Pineapple Pleasure. It's a pleasure. That one's ready. What a pleasure. Pineapple Pleasure. This tree's doing nice. When this fruit is on, it's on. The problem is, it's not always on. It does have something to do when you pick it. But Pineapple Pleasure has been a pleasure this year. Big fruit. And those of you that order mangoes for me, because I have been shipping some mangoes out, this is where you get in the boxes, these varieties. The Pineapple Pleasure is one of them that you'll get now if you order a box. Next thing we got here is Angie. I can't say enough about Angie. I mean, superstar performer. Early, excellent. That's Angie variety. Okay, this is the other side here, and this is Ceci Love. Ceci Love, lot of fruit hanging on there. Lot of fruit hanging on there. I finally just picked one to try. I'm not going to pick anything until I come back with a pen. But here, this tree is ice cream. Ice cream is supposed to be a dwarf tree, but this is a pretty big tree, but it's also not supposed to be a good producer. But this tree has been loaded. And remember what I said. The interesting thing is the leaves are beautiful on this tree, but the fruit, some of the fruit's somewhat clean. When you come around here, a lot of it has anthracnose on it. It's still edible. But look, it's on the floor. I'm going to pick that up and eat that for breakfast. This has been it's not a surprise because I knew how good it tasted. But the surprise of this one is how abundant the tree is. Another tree I highly recommend, ice cream. I got a couple more surprises for you this year and things I recommend. So everything's growing nice here. Sunpuri, growing nice. It's time to cut it. Start pruning it nicely. Kaiser, growing nice. ST Maui looking nice. Two more surprises this year. This tree, probably the best tasting mango I've tasted this year. Or one of them. Edgar. Edgar. Wow. Really wonderful surprise. I knew it tasted great. I planted it, but I hadn't remembered how good it was. This side, we have fruit cocktail on this tree. And the good surprise is the tree had a really good amount and still does. The fruit is not the best. I guess I got to learn when to pick it, but really happy with the productivity of it this year. Then I have here in the ground, in a pot, I have an emerald, an apricot. All right, Malika. Malika, good mango, did well. I cut back the seedling a little, but it keeps growing. And there's another Pickering that did great. Cotton candy, haven't picked fruit off there yet. Some people have. It's a late season, but people are getting fruit. This, Graham, big fruit. delicious this year. When it's on, it's on. Graham is good this year. And I'm always thinking ahead what I got to do, what I got to clean up. That's sweet tart, loaded. That was the first tree I grafted from a seedling. This one is guava. 2 more hanging on there. Really wonderful. This tree, I have to move. The area is too tight. But this is a buttercream. Buttercream. Then we got a phoenix. Tree's getting big. Had some fruit on it. Got to keep an eye on that. It's got some wires up there, but I hope not to let it get that big. I'm going to trim all these and make a video after the last fruits come off. Bam, here we go. Super Alfonso. Excellent taste. Loaded this year. And I lost a lot. A lot fell off this tree because of the drought we were having. But there's still a lot hanging on there. Super Alfonso. And look at this. White Paris. White Paris. Can't say enough about this. Excellent variety. It gets a lot of stuff to, you got to spray this one with sulfur, which I did. I didn't spray any trees with copper this year. This one got sulfur. And we had after it some stuff growing on it, but it broke through. It's looking good. All right. Coconut cream. People tell me it's not consistent. My experience says it's not consistent, but it's such a beautiful tree in my opinion. I'm continuing shaping it as the season's over. For coconut cream, there's only 1 more hanging on there. First year that I got anything, I got 3 off there. It's just a beautiful tree. So I got to figure out what to do with that one. Sugarloaf. I have a bunch hanging on there. Not in the best spot in my yard. Got to decide about that, but certainly a lot hanging on there. Sugarloaf. Now over here I had a Seacrest, which is also known as triple sec, but it was too close to this. That's a dot. Dot's almost over. Dot, amazing. In the tastings, everyone loved Dot, but the Seacrest was here and it was too close. Both pretty big trees, but the Seacrest, it wasn't in a good space. Not productive enough for me to keep, so I took the tree out and sold it. But if we come over here some feet, between the coconut and the Dot, I have about 14 feet each way. I could fit a small tree there. And I put one in. Guess what, everybody? Welcome to Mangoland, Honeykiss. Honeykiss. So, yes, I got 2 Honeykiss here. Doesn't grow tall. It'll be great here. 14 feet should be okay for Honeykiss. All right. A few more trees here to show you. This one here is another sunrise. Another sunrise. So we'll see how that does. It's been doing great. But right next to the sunrise is one. And this is why, look, how man I got through this whole video without talking too much about high density. But look, I planted 10 feet from the sunrise, this orange essence. It's too close, folks. Look at it. Looks like 1 tree. That's 2 trees. This orange essence, I have a choice. I could take it out. You could leave these close, and that's going to grow this way, and that'll grow that way. I could take it out and free up some space for the sunrise, or I could leave it there and see what happens. And I think I'm basing a lot of it on the fruit that's on there. There's a good amount of fruit on here. It's a late season, and when I taste that fruit, I might decide what I want to do with this tree here. But that is orange essence. This tree here is definitely coming out or being top work. This is a steppe mango. as we say, a step down from other mangoes. Not, I mean, very productive, but just not a top tier mango in my opinion. So this tree is probably going to be top worked or coming out. And we'll see. I might even put another sunrise there. We'll see. I'm excited about this tree. The mangoes are just getting ripe. Peach cobbler. Delicious peach cobbler. And then over here, little gem. Little gem starting to produce, and ripe mangoes are coming off of it. Little gem. Excellent. And it's not just all these mango trees. There's so much other stuff growing here that we're eating right now. But for this video, we're just doing this update for July 1st. And here's the last one, Neelam. Neelam is loaded. Let's see how the fruit does. It's a late season fruit, often hanging the latest more than any other fruit. So let's see how it does. And I did remember I put on here a branch of lemon zest a long time ago. And on the other side of this Neelam tree, I have some grafts of seedlings that I put on here that took. There's 2 seedlings that took, so we'll see how they turn out. So many other changes to the yard. Black zapotes, white zapotes in the ground. Star apples and white zapotes fruiting now. Black sermon cherries, so much going on. All right, everybody, there you have it. That's an update of the mangoes here, July 1st, 2025. And I do recommend you record your yards. Make a video. Maybe you don't want to put it on YouTube, but at least for your own records. So, or at least write down a log so you can see what's doing what time of year, what grows best, what next. You know, document everything. It'll really help you out. My neighbor's yard is right here. I like comparing my varieties to the same varieties he has and see how they're doing over there. This is so much fun. I mean, I'm so recovering from the Mango Festival. I'm going to have a video coming on that real soon that I'm going to edit and show you guys how amazing the Mango Festival was. We'll come out with a video and a message about that, because thank you all for coming out to that. All right, that is the update here in our yard. And until then, everybody, thanks for subscribing. It was so great to meet many of you at the Mango Festival. And next year, bigger and better. But just thank you for showing interest in my passion and having a passion about it too, growing fruit trees. I'll do another update soon on the white zapotes and the jackfruits and everything else that's growing on here. If you have comments and questions, put them below. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day, everybody, and keep growing.